the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 23.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto district of Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me as always, Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Burrow to throw right away. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Again, it's Mixon. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And a loose football. And now off to the races down the right side. The 20. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Burrow. Flushed out right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Burrow, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football, because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. That's to the tight end, Colby Parkinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Geno. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Here we go, set.
Throwing again is Smith. That's complete to his running back, Dallas. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
That's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Throwing now is Geno, rolling to his right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Throwing is Smith. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Geno Smith taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Now Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that one an 8-play drive that spans 75 yards. And it results in a 40-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
On 2, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On 1, ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1, ready?
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. To the air again, Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On 1,
So
ready?
we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Now it's Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here we go. Here we go.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here we go.
2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Burrow looking to pass. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Burrow. And his throw is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Mixon. Trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run total.
Now Burrow loses the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got...
He's got him in, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 14-10. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Here we go. Here we go.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Darrell Taylor, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Fourth down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. Fielded at the 33. Shoves him aside. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
On these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On second down, here's Smith. He completes this to Walker. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Steps away. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And taken at the 46. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Walker now on 1st and 10. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to Walker on first down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Now it's Smith. He's got his tight end Fan. Touchdown! Noah Fan from 19 yards away. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it's 21-10. A drive there, just 4 plays. And it's Noah Fan who caps things off with the touchdown. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Hayden Hurst, former 1st-round pick, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a 1st-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. So they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. Geno now to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterbacks.
Throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. After the interception, here's Smith. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of, let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Run past the 30-yard line there. This offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Nightmare in the first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me, and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
On 1st and 10, Smith. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Smith, Walker with a grab, left side. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the 50, it's Smith. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The catch is made, and he is going to be out of bounds, a couple of yards short of the marker, and they will fail to convert here on 4th down. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Bengals will get the football back. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
Here we go. This is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and it finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing is Smith. And he slings one that's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Smith. Pressure comes and down he goes. Sam Hubbard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. Finding Walker complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Smith's throw into the hands of Lockett. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Burrow. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nixon will try the right side. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Burrow on 3rd down. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Darrell Taylor able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football.
But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Burrow steps away to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Mixing up the middle. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Here we go.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Burrow. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Tariq Woolen picks it.
And the Seahawks will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And out now come the Seahawks. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Pushes past it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Okay, ready?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the half.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On one, ready?
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Quadre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot here before break. Smith. Stiff-armed it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Cincinnati. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
This one taken just inside the 10.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here we go. Set.
On first down, Smith. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he's been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first down instead of airing it out.
Get it.
Now Geno on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Hendrickson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession...
And my goodness, another interception.
Tariq Lumen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right through this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
After the interception, here's Smith.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eli Apple.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you to come in like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Inside handoff to Mixon. And some room to maneuver. 56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Burrow on play action. They'll roll him out right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. That'll go as a sack and a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 2nd and goal.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Burrow looking to pass. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. And 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw it, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks.
Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Play action. It's Smith. No, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Bengals offense returns to the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Tanner Muse there defensively.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts him in a pretty good spot for second down. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Calling the gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken around the 12. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. Throw out wide to Walker. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. When we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts in the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
On 1, right?
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. That's the tight end, Hurst with it.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a first down.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Back to Mixon on second down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
That was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
From the gun on third down is Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Now Burrow on first down. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain the play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
On second down, here's Mixon, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are able to cut into that deficit. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check it.
Now Smith sliding out of the pocket. He stiff arms him. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. We see double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, Smith.
And Walker has it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. To throw again on second down. Smith. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
He hits his target, Lockett. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Get it!
On first down, it's Smith. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Rolling to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th. Here we go on 4th. Smith. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here. 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This goes out wide from Nixon. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Now it's Burrow. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Again, it's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Here we go.
A couple of first downs on the drive already. As they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Stop.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Forced out to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Geno buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Here we go, here we go.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Fired that one in there. It will make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and a going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard you receive.
And my goodness, another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow points the target and he hands it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Gun. Stop.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Setting up the screen to P-Ryan. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
On 1, ready?
13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens.
No, it's out. Smith lost it.
dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Play action. It's Smith. And he's going to go down again. Sam Hubbard able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Smith rolling to his right. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And he is brought down, but now before reaching the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Even with a big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Smith. And Walker with it over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
From the red zone now, Smith. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Trey Hendrickson, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Smith. Repeat of the last play, finding Walker. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Myers now converted on the
field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. A short kick taken at the 18. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here we go, here we go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And that would complete once again to Higgins.
Go.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. On 3rd down, Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Here we go.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the gun again to Mixon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Burrow. And this will be incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you put that in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Geno able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals trying, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Come on. Hey.
Now Geno on 1st down. Throw out wide to Walker. And he caught it up. And the Bengals grab it. And he's got room. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player,
You go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now Geno. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football and be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Geno down to throw. And this one's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Yeah, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Smith. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Now it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Complete to Tyler Boyd. 18 yards. And the Bengals first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From midfield now, Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football,
get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go.
Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. From 21 yards away. And the Bengals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Bengals 24.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Throwing now, Smith. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 1st and 10, Smith. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Smith. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Throwing is Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Smith on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So the victory here for Seattle. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.